I'm currently on the phone with Nick. He's another musician that reached out about the current interview session. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hi, my name's Nick. I'm a drummer in a couple bands, predominantly Pandaline. I also sing, and I just love Minneapolis music. I want it to get as rich as possible.
All right, fair enough. So tell me about how you first came in contact with music. What was it about music that drew you into it?
I mean, so my parents were always playing music around the house. Um, my mom is in the Twin Cities Women's Choir, or was for quite a few years. My dad played a couple instruments. But how I started was I was at a family reunion, and my Palestinian uncle um, brought out a hand drum and taught me a few rhythms, and was like, "Hey, this kid's got a little bit of promise." Or maybe he was just saying that. Maybe he just thought everybody should play an instrument. But then they got me some drum lessons.
Okay, and so was it intentional that you were kind of into drums, or was that just it was there and it was what was available?
I think it was just that it was there, it was available. Like I was always kind of humming and singing a little bit, but I honestly did not pursue that at all until fairly recently.
Okay, and then once you did kind of figure out that you kind of liked playing drums, did you just figure it out all all on your own, or did you seek out like private lessons or anything like that?
Yeah, I got some private lessons from a cool St. Paul cat called Michael Kiley. I've got his initials tatted on my arm. Uh, yeah, amazing figure, really inspirational. It was really sad when he passed, but left a really great mark on.
So tell me about how that transitioned into learning an instrument and being okay with it to eventually creating with it and then playing with other musicians.
So well, I didn't start playing the drum kit until like high school, but I would play like the congas and the djembe, and go to like drumming circles. So it took a while for me to transition into playing for other people. In high school, I played a bunch with, some of my friends who hopped on the guitar and bass and such. But I didn't actually form a band until college after playing at jazz open mics and, blues jams, etc., playing with friends. And I wasn't an original member of my first band. They brought me on after their drummer didn't return to college one year. Um, so it kind of took until college to be a part of my first band, and then to make my own, it took until after the pandemic, after the first brunt of lockdowns, etc.
Okay, and so during those college years, when you're transitioning from like being a percussionist into being a traditional drummer,
Yeah.
um, what was that process like? What you mentioned that you played with some of your friends. Was it like your conventional rock band type lineup, or was it like a jazz ensemble? Give me some details there.
Yeah, I've definitely always played with a wide variety of players. Like I mentioned, the jazz open mics, and Michael Kiley was kind of more of a blues and jazz player, definitely big on swing, which definitely was infused into my playing. Um, when I was playing in my first band, General Mind, uh, the bassist was really like an all around, kind of church player. The singer was super into Hiatus Coyote and Blood Orange, and the guitarist really loved Tame Impala and such. So it kind of melded together into this chill alt R&B.
Okay, and then was that just the one group that you're in, or did you kind of revolve around other groups, or eventually move on to a different band, or how did that work out?
Yeah, at college it was pretty much just that band. Um, when I sometimes I came home for summer, and a couple times my friends and I just threw together a group for one house show at the end of the summer, just to keep playing, link back up, hang.
Okay, and so It sounds like through a lot of experiences you've had with playing music, the ambition was just more to be explorational with the instrument, not necessarily putting out product, as it were. Would you say that that's true?
Yeah, definitely. I probably wouldn't have, gone to all the jazz open mics that I've been to if I was super concerned with having, a tight and neat little song to produce, which, I mean, it happened. I found myself lucky to have played with a bunch of people who appreciate like the process of making music, but then also kind of are willing to, you know, put in the extra mile to contact venues, put together shows, get get our stuff recorded, put it online, etc. Because I love having, uh, I do also love having the finished product to be able to show to people and to show to myself, and then be like, I did this.
Sure. So that kind of brings us up to where you are now. So tell me about eventually learning to sing along and play with drumming and then creating your own project.
Yeah. So kind of post initial lockdowns, I was fiending, fiending to play music in a band. And so, having just come back from Vancouver, uh, where I went to school, to Minneapolis, uh, I just hit up Craigslist actually. And it was funny because the first people who responded, um, they brought over like 5 people to my basement, and it became really clear that the only thing they had read of my ad, including all my influences and what I want to play, was the word blues, which is great. I love the blues, but it does not only blues, but through that first little excursion, I found Dakota, my keyboardist, who's just fantastic, and we clicked really well and proceeded to write 20 songs. And then Dakota knew Travis, who's also part of Dandelion, and we kind of formed this little jam band. And then we also had a bassist, Justin Johnson, who's great too.
Okay, so you guys got together all off of Craigslist. Tell me how many people you had to audition through Craigslist to get your lineup together.
Um, well, luckily we didn't have to audition. We only we only so the only Dakota and I met through Craigslist, and then Travis knew Dakota, and then Justin I found, who is just amazing.
So it
But
was really just one.
yeah, and it
Okay.
clicked right away.
All right,
I
perfect.
know I'm also in a reggae band who joined through Craigslist, and they had to audition a bunch of people because, yeah, difference of artistic pursuits, etc.
Awesome. So tell me what the trajectory for the current project is. You mentioned you guys were able to write a bunch of songs really quickly. Do you intend to get like good recordings of them? Are you going to self-produce and record? What's kind of the trajectory you're setting for yourselves?
Yeah, we're kind of rolling them out, kind of kind of by piecemeal. We're usually recording with Abe Anderson. We first recorded, I think, 2 years ago now. Um, and that was a really fun process. Um, but yeah, I mean, we don't want to shell out, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 right away. So we're kind of taking it at our own pace. Plus, then we can, have shows to promote them and have a good time.
Sure. So that's the eventual goal is to get to the point where you guys are well practiced enough where you can start playing shows around the city.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I mean, we've been playing shows. Like last year, we played 50 shows. But uh, we all just really enjoy writing and performing music. So it's kind of positive hangouts, just building something together, collaboration, and B, uh, having something to show people as well.
Sure. So where would you see this project in, 5 or 10 years?
I'd like to see it keep going. There was a little while where we weren't sure if Dakota was going to follow his girlfriend to Colorado or somewhere else, depending on where, she ended up at grad school, but he's settled here. So definitely festivals. There's a bunch around the Midwest all throughout summer and a couple in the winter that we would love to start hitting out. But kind of keep going. Just maintain momentum, make shirts, make music, make memories.
Sure, definitely. All right. On the topic of memories, share with me a couple prominent memories that you have about music that really kind of keep you in the seat to keep drumming.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I was invited to perform in the Wabasha Street Caves for like this urban exploration get together. And that was awesome. That was so sick. There was like a crowd of like 200 people watching me play the drums and sing. Um, so that was a pretty high moment. In college, my band Gentle Mind performed at this like conference, which was insane because we performed in front of like, God, I don't even know, like more than 1,000 people, because we were in like an auditorium. And that was super cool too, because some of our friends were in various places around the room and could take like 7 different angles of it.
Nice. Very cool. All right. Well, so you mentioned you guys are out there doing shows and you're going to be putting out some material. So where can people find you and follow you?
Yeah. So my personal Instagram through which I do art and music and stuff is Azerty Keys, AZERTYKEYS. But I've got a couple bands, mostly Pandalion, which is like dandelion with a P. And then the reggae band I think is starting up again. And that's all that's of 2 lions. So a lot of lions going on in my life.
Nice. It's a good way to be. All right. Well, so I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So what's a message that you have that you want people to hear?
Retain hope, keep fighting, keep doing what you think is right, and have a little fun.